If you're a contract manufacturer and want to understand the crazy world of social media marketing, then you're in the right place. Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, YouTube.
Take the 10 minutes to watch and be better at finding new customers.
The one thing I have to tell you is that there's a difference between a sales pitch and education. We're trying to educate you because we want American manufacturing to thrive.
Our mission is to help keep American manufacturing strong.
Hey Rob, did you hear about the guy that had a fear of elevators?
Oh.
He took steps to avoid them.
Here we go again. How does that relate to this video?
Well, a lot of contract manufacturing companies don't have full-time marketing experts, and it's very hard to keep up with the new technology.
Things change really fast.
Yeah, so they take steps to avoid learning the new technology, and it only hurts them.
And even worse, they sometimes are talked into trying the wrong thing and wasting a lot of money. Well, there are 4 places you can find new customers online, and they all have their ups and downs. Get it?
Okay, all right. So today I'm going to tell you about the 4 ways that you could reach people online. The only 4 ways that are effective. Number 1, Google. Number 2, YouTube. Number 3, Facebook. And number 4, LinkedIn. Now, Google breaks down into 2 things that you could use. One is AdWords, which are these ads at the top of a page. It's a process by which you bid against other people who want to be seen with the particular keyword. These tend to be expensive. They could be upwards of $10 to $15 a click. The second way is through SEO, search engine optimization. I'm sure you all built an expensive website, and somebody told you along the way that you need SEO to get to the top of a Google search. Bottom line is, websites are not what's showing up at the top of search engines anymore, so we're going to get into that later. SEO works tremendously well for videos, better than websites, because there are more words in a video than there is in a website. When the internet just started, we were there.
Weren't you the largest internet company in Connecticut at one time?
Absolutely we were, because we were the only one. But the fact is, we did a lot of very high-end work. I actually remember using the internet before they even had browsers. So we had to evolve as marketers through the AOL days, through the early internet. Or you have mail. Remember that? The invention of email. Actually, we saw the birth of search engines like Lycos, Webcrawler, and that little company called Google.
Google.
Yeah, Google.
Michael Google.
Yeah, imagine that. Actually, I remember hearing the news when Jeff Bezos was selling books out of his garage. And you wouldn't dare put your credit card on a website back in the day because it was crazy. The third way, you could always post your video and your marketing message to your Facebook page. The problem with that is the people that follow you are not potential customers as much as people you know. There's a lot of people on Facebook that are dreamers, not doers. They like to contact you, ask for quotes, and then you find out in the end they really don't have a budget. So we tell people, be careful about Facebook. It's easy to see tons of people, but it's also easy to waste your time.
So you're saying they might find your posts interesting, and even though they're not in the work mode, may spend some time with it. And if it's a video, they might watch it for a while and learn something.
But the key here is that they didn't have the intention of searching for your company. They weren't in work mode. Basically, your commercial came upon them as a surprise. Not that that's wrong, but it's just not the quality lead that you're looking for. That's why you could get a lot of traffic on Facebook for lower cost, because you're reaching people by surprise. They're not having the intent of searching for you.
And a lot, by definition, are not going to be the right people.
Right. And so what's happening is Facebook is a great place to generate large numbers. And when you generate large numbers, you might get lucky and find 1 or 2 big fish.
But if it's inexpensively priced, it's okay.
It could be worth it, yeah. So if you had 100,000 people that you could reach with your message, and you could do it for a very inexpensive cost, and 0.5% of those were good, then you're okay. And LinkedIn works the best when you, as a person, go on and search out other job titles and other people, and then you invite them to come and join you in a conversation where you could then try to sell them your processes and services. The bottom line is to realize that the secret of all marketing online is the power of your videos. Video is actually the best content you can use because it involves movement and sound. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That's all right. Because it involves movement and sound, and I got a puppet over here. So why does video perform better than anything else? Because over 70% of all web traffic goes to a mobile device. And because on mobile devices, so many websites still aren't mobile enabled, that it's hard to pinch and scroll and squint. It's hard to read websites. People want videos.
How did we start our our career in film and manufacturing. What did we do?
Go back 10 years. We were standing at the trade show, at the Design Apart show specifically, which are great shows.
Face-to-face meetings are fantastic.
Yeah, and it's a great company. You know, it's owned by the Edwards family, right?
I know those people.
Right, Rob Edwards?
Right, correct. Correct. We work hard to get you face-to-face in front of potential customers. Every show is 2 days somewhere in the country. We run 12 of them a year. It's a place to get right there and find new customers, and for the engineers to find a new vendor to solve a problem.
You see an exhibitor talking to an engineer. The engineer brought a part or brought an idea or brought a drawing and said,
napkin.
How do I make this? What process do I use? Should I make it out of plastic or composite? These kinds of interactions happened every day. What did we do? Grab the camera and we started filming it. We started visiting the Design Apart trade shows and noticing the interactions between the people in the booths and the engineers walking the aisles. And we started to film it. Then we started actually going on location and we created multiple videos. We then posted them up on YouTube, not knowing back in the day what was going to happen with them. We just put them there because it was an easy hosting service. Turns out they are now the second largest search engine in the world. Well, our channel grew, our video volume grew. We got a call that said, hey, do you want help promoting your videos and getting them out to the people that need to see them? Google taught us how to turn our playlist of YouTube videos into a channel. And this channel has power. As you'll see here, we have over 8,000 subscribers at this point. What that means for you is when we post a video on our channel, it immediately goes out to 8,000 people that are in the industry who have already said, I'd like to see more of your videos. And they showed us how the new algorithm that was just released 2020, how it works. So let's say, for example, we're going to search for permanent mold castings. If you look down the page, what you're going to see is things like this. This is an ad. Somebody's paying for this. They're paying on a bidding basis. Could be paying close to $5 to $10 per click, depending on the competition for that ad. And if somebody clicks on it, boom, it's a big bill. Or you could be down the page, and if you'll notice, there's a section called videos. Right now, Google includes videos as a search result on the front page on just about 90% of all searches. Why? Because they own YouTube and they want to promote YouTube videos. So wouldn't you rather be down here for next to nothing rather than up here and pay $5 to $10? Not only that, look at the value of a video section. You have thumbnails that act like little mini ads. They're way more attractive to be seen. They're 27 times more likely to be clicked than a regular listing like this. Not to mention how many people do skip the ads.
So basically the message here is to tell our customers to get a video and place it on Facebook and Google. Is that what it is?
Not so fast. It's a bit deeper than that and a bit more complicated. And we've learned... Why we know this is because we learned everything by experience. We've been doing this for so long that we've made every single mistake you could make.
When we started, my beard was black and now it's gray.
When I started, I was a fetus. So the reality is, we don't want you to make the mistakes we made.
Learn on our dime, learn on our errors, and see. By the way, these things, these marketing tools change via time too.
They do.
They were one way and then they're suddenly a different way.
And you know what? How the actual algorithms work on search, on Facebook, YouTube, Google, they all change. In fact, they just changed drastically at the beginning of this year.
I'm most impressed that you used a 4-syllable word algorithm properly in a grammatically perfect sentence.
So here's another example, screw machining. Now remember, all search results are different. No two are the same because they're based on geography, they're based on your search history, they're based on how you're logged in. But basically what we're proving is that the videos are showing up on the front page, and most times, on most keywords, clients of ours are showing up on the front page. Here's an example here. Here's another one. Google the word low volume plastics. You could do this for right now where you're sitting because it does work. About 3 million results. And you'll look down the page and there's, whoa, it's Seaway Plastics. Why? The whole time we've been promoting and pushing them so that they stay on the front page. Here's another one. It's a niche marketing, wire face mask fabrication. So this company out of Mystic, Connecticut wants to be known as the wire face mask fabricator. So they're a wire products company, and people are smart now. Engineers are searching for exactly what they want, and the goal is to be in those categories over and over and over. Permanent mold castings is there. pressure forming plastics, you'll see a bunch of our guru videos. Rotational molding. This is a great one. He's the top of the list. Google actually uses his video as educational content, so he gets a ton, upwards of 10,000 views a month. Here's an example of how you use your videos off your webpage. So Arrow Metals is an investment casting company, and they do near net shape investment castings, but they came to us and said, we want to do a division that just does castings for firearms. So in order to do that, we did a video that was specific for castings for firearms, and out of 500,000 results, they always show up on the front page. And the other side of the business, net shape investment castings, they have their own video there. So you could be in different locations and different keywords, and that's the goal.
So people don't realize that Google is so big that it provides over 3.5 zillion per... Zillion? People don't realize Google is so big that it provides over 3.5 billion searches per day, and over 60% of those are from a mobile device or a phone.
3.5 billion. Whew. So how do they determine who shows up where and what's up on the front page of a search? Especially when some of the search terms have over 20 million possible results.
I've seen 300 million possible results too.
Right. So how do they figure that out?
The page you see is called a SERP, S-E-R-P, or Search Engine Results page. And it's assembled to meet your needs in less than a few seconds or part of a second.
And the SERP page starts the process by figuring out who you are and what your search habits are.
Yes, and then it tries to match your past searches with information that they think will best meet the needs for the current search. So let's break it down. Picture the Search Engine Results page consisting of blue buckets full of data.
Not blue. You know I love my Home Depot orange.
Orange buckets full of all kinds of great data. And each bucket will have different types of data. When you hit search, Google will attempt to give you something from each bucket to build the search engine results page for you. Bucket 1 will be full of ads. These are called AdWords, text ads. You bid and pay a premium for these spots. And if your competitor wants to also be here, you too will be bidding the price up for that top spot. And if nobody wants to pay for this top spot, the bucket is empty and Google looks to bucket number 2.
Bucket 2 is for shopping. It's going to be full of data of sites where you could buy whatever you just Googled. Remember, all searches are different, so results may vary.
And things are closer than they appear in the mirror.
That's right.
Bucket 3 belongs to YouTube and contains only videos because Google owns YouTube and they promote videos. In fact, over 5 billion videos are watched every day. Notice that this is more than Google searches per day. That's important to think about. Bucket 4 is that map you see mostly on your phone when looking for a restaurant. It will contain listings and directions to local companies of businesses that will meet your search criteria. This is called Google My Business. Bucket 5 contains images and photos related to the word searched. And Bucket 6 has questions that are frequently asked about those same search criteria. And finally, the last bucket, Bucket 7. Bucket 7 contains websites. Websites that have good or great content, and search words that match this criteria bring up those websites. This is where your website will be found.
Wow, in Bucket 7. So that's where websites go. Okay.
People wonder why websites are so much farther down the screen. That's where they're putting them these days. After the person types and hits the enter key, bam! Google has to look inside each of the buckets, and if a bucket is empty or the data in that bucket is less than matching, Google goes to the next bucket. And in that half second, Google collects all the data, builds a page, and sends it to your phone or computer.
All right, so immediately I see that everyone should just put all their eggs in one bucket. We just take our marketing budget and put it into bucket number 1, the AdWords bucket, right? Don't you want to be at the top?
But it's not that simple. Would be nice if it were. Just because it's at the top doesn't mean that it works. Research says that less than 10% of people actually click on paid ads from bucket 1.
So you're saying that 90% of the people skip the ads and go right to the body?
But while 90% of people skip the ads and scroll further down the front page, only 8% of those people ever go to page 2 to click on a search result.
Oh, you mean there is a page 2?
There's sometimes thousands or millions of pages, but they go to page 1 and pick something that seems to match the best and match the way they like to search, which what we're learning is not the ads at the top.
Wow.
It's something further down that page.
And that's why Park Gurus has spent the last 9 years learning how to get you in the right bucket for the least cost.
And it's not just the right bucket, it's also the right social media site. Because Park Gurus is an advertising platform. We put your company on the best of the internet.
We offer you a complete solution that spans Google, YouTube, and Facebook so you can stop worrying about driving traffic to your website and focus on closing business. because we're going to do all the work for you. But sounds like so can anyone else. So why bother with Part Gurus? Well, there's a good reason for that. Because actually we have two distinct advantages over you trying to do it yourself or anyone else for that matter.
Number one, we have the largest YouTube channel for American manufacturing, which has over 50,000 people per month who watch any of our 700 videos, and it's on demand.
These are engineers and buyers who view the videos and are looking for a new process or supplier. But most people searching for a supplier have a full product line to build. They need multiple suppliers and multiple processes. And the benefit of our platform is that when they visit our platform, they start seeing other products in the platform and they start clicking on them. Last time I was talking to a client on Part Gurus, I called him up and I said, "What were you looking for?" He goes, "I came for a sheet metal chassis." I go, "What were you going to put in?" He goes, "Well, that was my second search. I was looking for the electronics." So that's what people don't think about when they do their own marketing, because you're only concentrating on your keywords. But the fact is we're so big and the community's so big, and 50,000 people a month that are looking at these videos, they are looking at multiple videos at a time. And secondly, we give you an added bonus, inclusion on our partgurus.com website, which is the largest video showcase for contract manufacturing suppliers. This site is visited by engineers and buyers who don't shop solely on the lowest price. They're here for a reason. They need to solve a problem or find a long-term partner because they want to have somebody smart to work with them.
The best thing about Part Gurus is it's pay for performance. You literally get what you pay for, and you determine how much traffic you want. If nobody watches, you don't pay.
And you don't get any wasted views because the audience will exclude themselves. If they see 15 seconds of your video and they don't want it, they hit the skip button, boom, they're off to the next thing, and we don't pay, you don't pay.
If you hit the skip button, no one's paying for that little bit of a view that you had. It's the brilliance of YouTube and video marketing.
Which you can't get anywhere else.
Nowhere else.
So this is unbelievable because marketing has never offered you this kind of performance guarantee ever. You never pay for wasted ads. So call us today and we can walk you through this. Love to hear from you.
Give us a call.